Hi, Dr. Grassetti and the rest of the class. Today I'm going to be doing a roleplay script that I created for the Russian psychoanalyst Andreas Salome. So with that, we will get started. Hello, my name is Andreas Salome, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself and my life today. You may be wondering, what is so interesting or important about me? Why am I here talking to you like everyone else here at these presentations? I led a very radical life for the time that I was born into, and I've always felt compelled to live out my truth, even in a time when such was unacceptable. Is this not something to be celebrated and shared? I was born in St. Petersburg in 1861 to a wealthy family. Growing up, I was especially close to my father. He was a safe space for me. However, in 1878, when I was 17, my father passed and it was very hard for me. Growing up, I was religiously inclined, but my father's death sparked doubts into my mind. During this time, I turned to philosophy as a refuge. During this time growing up, women were not encouraged to pursue an education, to be well read, and to be taken seriously. But these things didn't matter to me. I knew who I was, and I knew that I had a path to pursue. My education opened doors for me, and I was able to learn indispensable knowledge that would impact my life forever. I was able to find a tutor to help me in my studies. This sounds like it would be a beneficial advancement towards my education until it was not. I had an experience where my tutor tried to make things romantic, being a source of hardship for me. I turned him down and went on my own path. This experience ignited my drive towards the path of feminism. I continually pursued my studies, primarily those of fiction writing and philosophy. I attended the University of Zurich studying theology as well as other philosophical texts. Eventually, this background would propel my understanding and interest towards psychoanalysis, but we aren't there yet. In 1882, I met the now famous Friedrich Nietzsche. I thought he was a genius and was interested in his philosophical endeavors, but he wanted something more with me, something romantic. Once more, I denied this. What was expected of women at the time was to get married and have children, and for as long as possible, I sought to avoid this as it would halt my intellectual advancement. Nietzsche and I were an intellectual dream team for a while until his feelings were too much to handle and we broke off the friendship. However, I maintained my intellectual admiration for his work and wrote a commentary on his work called Nietzsche. However, in 1887, I did choose to get married for economic reasons, for to do otherwise during this time period was very challenging. I met Friedrich C. Andreas, who was a professor. Economically, we supported each other and I respected him, but we were together for more practical reasons. In 1897, I met the poet Rainer Maria Rilke. We were both each other's muses. In our relationship, which was the first real intimate connection I've shared romantically with someone, he taught me all about human connections, which fueled my analytical understanding later. In 1911, I met Sigmund Freud through an intellectual circle of those interested in psychoanalysis. Not only did I become a disciple of him, but also a friend. He taught me the foundations of this type of therapy, and I found great interest and skill in such. I've always been empathetic and a good listener, so this field opened up to me in many beautiful ways. There were times where Freud would send certain clients to me who I would give therapy to. There were times when I would supply therapy for free even as well. I was alive when psychology was at the birth of its conception. Not only was I an active therapist, but I wrote psychoanalytic texts such as the erotique and fictional reflective pieces. As a woman, many looked down on me during my lifetime. As history has gone on, many remember my colleagues such as Nietzsche, Freud, and Rilke, but my legacy is not as widely celebrated. Let my story be a lesson in eminent philosophers and psychologists in the zeitgeists of the time. I did my work because of my passion. I was not chasing fame or anything like that. My experience is a unique one of many. Let my message today be this: everyone leaves a different legacy. Exploring the different identities that compose fields of expertise can leave one with a more diverse and inclusive understanding of ideas which can reach even more people, as well as therapies. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you learned something new today.